Good morning.
Hi, guys.
Yeah, welcome back to another episode of JAWS. It's the day after our anniversary. Things are going really good. Today is 301 days of sobriety. Hit the 300 mark.
That is so cool.
Coming up on 10 months.
64 days left.
Yeah.
You're not even in the hundreds until you're like hitting a year.
Yeah, dude. What? You're not
Like,
even in the hundreds?
You don't even have to have 100 more days before you hit a year.
Yeah, okay.
Only
that
64.
makes sense. Anyways, all right, guys. So, Ash, your action for the week last week was to spend more family time.
Yeah, and I felt like we did a pretty good job. Saturday we all hung out together. That's what I said. We Saturday. Sunday I worked, so I didn't get family time that day. But I feel like Saturday we had a really good family time day. I am feeling a little bit sad because I feel like I have not really... I've spent a lot of time with Delilah when you were gone, but we've been so inundated with stuff in the last week that I feel like I haven't really seen her very much. And now we were gone for the night, which I'm so grateful for, that we just did a little staycation. This is the first time we've been at a hotel since last October, like together by ourselves.
It's crazy.
So crazy.
We'll in your personal check-in, we'll talk about how your time with Delilah and just how we've been busy and what's been going on. My action for the week was to leave my phone downstairs, which I'm actually really proud of myself. I did pretty good. I did it like half the time, and honestly, a couple of the times that I did not do it, I honestly just forgot because I had a very, very crazy. We both had a very crazy week, but I've noticed it's just much more beneficial, and part of it is because 2 of the days that I had to get up super early, I needed an alarm, so we're ordering an alarm. We don't have an alarm clock, so we're gonna order one so that I can continue leaving my phone downstairs. It's been very helpful. So stoked on that. Ash, let's go. Personal check-in.
You're like screaming.
I know, dude. I can't help it. Feeling pretty good.
Personal check-in. You know what? It's been a really, really good week. There's so many great things going on in our life right now, and I feel so blessed.
Tell us about them.
But there are also, well, you can talk about it. There's also like hitting like any kind of like anniversary or like Christmas or celebration. You go down memory lane, and it can be so emotional. And I was talking to Jason about this last night when we were having dinner. But you know, like, it's crazy how ungrateful I feel like I was in the moment of us getting married. I was so young. I was 24. All of our family was there. You know, you kind of think that your family's going to be there forever, and everyone that's there by your side is always going to be there by your side. And it's really sad to look back and see that, like, you know, like 1, 2, 3 people that were at our wedding aren't even alive anymore, and some of them like are older and a lot sicker. And I just, you know, I'm so grateful that Jason and I are so like content and happy in our relationship at 7 years, and that we can like have these conversations and, you know, just reflect and look back. But I do get really down on myself sometimes because I'm like, oh, like I was so then I don't even know how to describe myself.
Yeah, well, I think also just to add context to the conversation is because Ashley lost her dad. We lost grandparents. We lost a lot of family members. So I think when she's saying there's emotion behind that, is because, you know, it's looking back and being in the moment. What I'm hearing you say is you know, you just wish that you didn't take some of that stuff for granted because you know, you miss looking back, like at our wedding video, seeing your dad. I mean, there's just so many different things that emotions are, you know, arose because for you it's like you get these overwhelming sadness of emotions, where I get like, for me still, I have like the happy emotions, so it's 2 different spots. Okay, so for me, things were really good. We just celebrated 7 years yesterday of marriage. We haven't been together 10?
No, 9.
9? Okay, I thought we were together 10. So 7 years, which was amazing. We did a little staycation. We went and got massages. We went to our favorite steakhouse. Got the best dinner in the world.
Massage was like amazing.
Yeah, everything was so good. And then we stayed we're just looking at the water right in front of us, and just really embraced each other and enjoyed that. Really grateful for Ashley's mom, who came down to help with Delilah so we could have this little staycation. But overall, I mean, it's just like, I kind of want to even talk about this in the topic for today, but I'm going to kind of go into it as like, you know, the promises are coming true again. For me, it's just like life is so incredible. You know, it's just like all this hard work is continuing to pay off, and it's just like things just keep happening and lining up. Ashley and I got a new home, which has been awesome. You know, we've We've been waiting to find the perfect place, and we finally found it where we're excited to be able to, create a lot of memories, but also even build our family. And so it's obviously getting a new place is very exciting, but there's a lot that goes with it. It can be very overwhelming when you're trying to manage, work life, family life, sobriety, this work in your programs, doing whatever you need to do. So things are really, really good in that area. I'm really happy. I'm really content. And I think, again, that comes down to structure, routine. And I think a big thing is like I'm really taking anything that comes in negatively as an opportunity for growth. So instead of like I used to dwell on negative stuff and like bury it and be very upset about it, be very frustrated, and let it really take over and put me into a bad place, where now, like, if there's like something that comes up that's challenging or negative, like I look at it as an opportunity for growth. And like my mindset, I've heard that forever, but I've never implemented it. And I feel like we're at a place where we're both doing it. So
I totally agree. Like, I feel like I'm in a really, like, I feel like life is going so well, but I'm also hit obviously with a lot of challenges along the way. But I think the way that I'm handling the challenges is a lot better than I would have if I was, not in a good place. So I'm so grateful for that.
Well, and it's crazy to think, I think just like to share with you guys is, it seems like all this stuff, there's all this great stuff that's going on, but also in the midst of this, like on the behind the scenes, Ashley and I have been dealing with, like, both sides of our family. We've been dealing with a lot of family stuff, and there's been like a lot of stress and a lot of chaos, but we're not allowing that to take over our lives. And I think it's, again, is we're there to support, be helpful, give our insight, and give our thoughts. But I think the biggest thing is that we've set boundaries. And I think both of us used to be so inundated and so immersed into these situations where it was like literally killing us.
Well, and can I say something on that topic? Because
Nope.
I've always been a firm believer, and something that I am trying to like implement more in our life is like remembering that, our families always have been a priority in our life. But when you're married to somebody, it's like you have your new priority, which is your team. And if you two are not a team and you're not strong as a unit, the other outliers or the outsiders can come in and affect the two of you. And so I think that's been like a really important thing this week for us, is like your home life and your family is the immediate family that you have in your house. It is so important that you have that strong unit, because it sets an example and a precedent for every single person in your family. And this is really important for holidays that are coming up or anything else. Like, for us personally, we have to be on the exact same page about what we expect from other people of our family, what our boundaries are, like anything that we are planning on doing, any place we're planning on going, like what that looks like. Like, we have to be a team unit on the forefront in order to set a good example for our daughter, and even just when it comes to setting boundaries for her, like I can't be saying one thing and he can't be saying the other, because it's so confusing for kids.
We got to be on the same team.
Yeah.
Again, structure, and all that creates safety. And when you're united, it just makes it a lot easier. So there's no manipulation, or makes it much harder for them to manipulate. But I'll just say, it's like when I was in a very unhealthy state and Ashley was in an unhealthy state, and we had, family stuff come up, it was just impossible to deal with. It just made everything so much worse. Now it's like when there's an issue, now that we're in a really healthy place, we can support each other and like move along. It's really cool to see. Like, our lives are very busy right now, but also like with things that are high priority, being family, is like we're able to help, but also not get stuck in it, and be able to even sometimes love from a distance. So the topic for the week is, I want to add one more thing. So, and like to add to this, like all that, but I also want to say something that I believe firmly that's really strengthened our relationship beyond just our programs, Ashley doing the work, me doing the work, is this connection that we're developing with God. Like it's getting to a point where it's like I'm experiencing peace that I've never experienced before, and I'm really turning things over, really living in faith, like a lot, just like leaving everything every time I wake up, doing what I need to do, but just like turning it over has been incredible. And I don't know if I shared this last week, so I'm sorry if I did, but I'm sorry, every Thursday I'm doing a Bible study now. It's like a men's group, which is really just going to walk us through the Bible, and to get a better understanding of it and just how to be a better person. And it's a continuation of growth from my Grand Canyon trip. So very excited about all that. This week's topic will be around hard work does pay off. I know that sounds very cliche, and it may sound kind of lame, but I think it's just really, it's nice to look at the growth, and nice to see the changes that have been made in your life when you really put forth that effort. And again, it's like you guys have seen this journey with us. It's been, almost 10 months, and I know we did this about 2.5 months into my sobriety, so you guys have been with us for almost it's been like 7 months with everybody. So to see this is like, we've had many ups and downs, and like it was just like, it was literally like the stock market. It was just up, down, whereas I'm really feeling like it's starting to like, the balance is like coming into play, and it's really, really nice. And I would just be curious, Ash, just to kind of like, just maybe give an overview of what this last 7 months have been like for you.
Well, I was going to say something on top of that topic. This is like something that it has to do with the topic, but I was in a spin class the other day with Alex and on my Peloton, and he was saying, like, there's no such thing as luck. Like, you get lucky by playing the lottery. You do not get lucky in life. You work hard in order to see results, and that's like exactly what our life has been. I think over the last 7 months, like a roller coaster of emotions, but I think most of all, like, I think the biggest growth that I felt is the grounding that I didn't have before. I think I was, even in the beginning, I was still spinning a lot, but now I feel very grounded. I feel also like very safe with you, and I feel very like we're a team. And I probably didn't feel like that in the beginning. Like, I feel like more and more we would become a team.
With me? Like, what does that mean?
Like, safe with you, for me, safety is like feeling like a team. Like, in the beginning phases of recovery, it's a very like selfish process, because it's a lot about them, like them having to work on themselves, and like they can't really help you or be a support to you in any aspect because they're working on themselves for so long. So I think like in continued growth through recovery, like you're able to be a support to me more where you haven't been in the past. And so I feel like more of a team from you.
No, 100%. I love how you're talking like I'm not here, but
because I'm talking for a third person, like
I
somebody
understand.
else.
No, I think it's, again, when in active addiction, you're the most selfish, self-centered person, and then untreated codependency it also just adds to that whole piece. So I think it's amazing to look at, and I think for me it's kind of the flip side of that is being able to be here and be present for you, be able to be a better dad, to be a better husband, to be a better friend, and to look back. Like there's just so many times, like in the episodes that we've done, where I was staying out. Where I remember the moments, whether it was we were in Arrowhead or when I got back, in the beginning stages when we were filming this at the house. Angry. I was just really angry. I was super irritable and just like seemed like things weren't going to pan out, and just like it was, just living in fear. And so I think a lot of that is just understanding on how to cope with that. And it was also like, I think just like being kind to myself. I'm always so hard on who I am, whereas now like I'm a lot more gentle, over the last 7 months, and 7 months with you guys, but specifically going over this almost last 10 months of sobriety is like, I think a lot of my own issues was just my own perceptions on myself. So
it's interesting because like you're so hard on yourself, but you're like angry, and I'm so hard on myself where I'm like a crumbler. Like I'm like so like you could blow on me and I would like fall over when I'm in that codependency kind of mode. So I think also like in the last 7 months I've become very like strong, like I've always been strong, but like strong-willed in what I want my life to be, not necessarily what I want someone to expect of me, but what I want to expect of myself.
100%. Action for the week.
My action for the week is going to be kind of like a continuation of yours. I want to put my phone downstairs too, because I have a Pinterest problem. I'm not on social media very much anymore because I only follow Jason. So I don't really have much to look at besides pictures of him. But I'm on Pinterest all the time, and now I'm looking at furniture 24/7. So I'm going to keep that downstairs, definitely.
Love it. Mine is Ashley and I are starting a new diet today, which is basically only eating from what comes from the earth, right?
It's a raw food diet.
Raw food diet, guys.
Like a fruits and vegetables diet.
Yeah,
well,
fruits and vegetables.
You can have grains.
For 10 days. So today's the day we start, and I hope you guys have a great week. Thanks.
Woohoo!
What up, guys? Thank you for watching another episode of JAWS Diaries. Hey, if you or a loved one is struggling and you guys need some direction, some insight, and you're just lost, please fill out the link below and we'd be happy to help.